The White Sox's new City Connect jerseys, a nostalgic nod amidst struggles. Last year was a season to forget for the Chicago White Sox, who set a modern MLB record with a staggering 121 losses, finishing with a dismal 41-121 record. To make matters worse, they scored nearly 100 runs fewer than the next worst team in baseball. In response to this historic failure, the White Sox's off-season was surprisingly quiet, with the only significant change being a new manager. They spent a mere $15.2 million, a paltry sum for a franchise that has never handed out a contract larger than Andrew Benintendi's $75 million deal. Fast forward to this season, and the White Sox are back at it again, currently languishing with a 7-21 record, the worst in the American League by a wide margin. It's hard to ignore the fact that this team has become a strong contender for the title of the most unfortunate franchise in American sports, and much of the blame can be traced back to their 89-year-old owner, Jerry Reinsdorf. But the White Sox aren't the only team suffering under his reign. The Chicago Bulls have also been dragged into mediocrity, thanks to Reinsdorf's hands-off approach that has characterized his ownership for the past 2 decades. So, is there any glimmer of hope for the Bulls and White Sox in the near future? Honestly, it doesn't look promising. Now, Chicago sports fans have a fresh reminder of just how far both franchises have fallen with the unveiling of the new City Connect uniforms for the White Sox, which pay homage to Reinsdorf's other team. Yes, the Bulls-White Sox crossover that nobody asked for is here. As a lifelong fan of both teams, I find a certain charm in it, but it also deepens my frustration with Reinsdorf's management. Local sports writers had a field day with the announcement of these new uniforms. The collar featuring the championship years for both teams is a nice touch, but let's be real, the Bulls will likely bask in the glory of their 90s dynasty forever. Strip away the years from 1991 to 1998, and the Bulls have a winning percentage of just 47% throughout their history. Meanwhile, the White Sox have been in a slump since their remarkable 2005 World Series victory, and their last rebuild fell flat after the Chris Sale trade. It's hard to muster any optimism for the new rebuild they're attempting now. This isn't the first time we've seen a Bulls-White Sox crossover this season. Derrick Rose even threw out the first pitch at the home opener. Chicago teams are so desperate for a nostalgia boost that the Bulls have planned 2 separate nights to honor Rose, one to celebrate his retirement and another to retire his number 1 jersey next season. It feels like a blatant cash grab for franchises that haven't been relevant on a national scale since the days of Bill Clinton and George W. Bush. While some design elements of the new uniforms are indeed cool, it's hard to imagine many fans wanting to spend their hard-earned money supporting Reinsdorf. On a brighter note for the White Sox, the Ishbia brothers now reportedly own 35% of the franchise. Matt Ishbia may have driven the Phoenix Suns into the ground in the NBA, but at least he's willing to spend money. In contrast, Reinsdorf's penny-pinching and lack of effort in staffing have left his teams with little chance of success. As long as Jerry Reinsdorf remains at the helm, Chicago sports will continue to struggle. This Bulls-White Sox crossover is just another reminder of the challenges facing these franchises.